Welcome to Mysteries and Crime. I'm your host, Melissa Thompson. Today is September 21st, 2021, and the first thing I'd like to say is my condolences go out to the Petito and Schmidt family and to all the friends and everyone who knew Gabby Petito. My heart is broken for all of you, and my thoughts are with each and every one of you. Your daughter was a shining, shining light. And this is not the outcome any of us were hoping for. The FBI in Denver has tweeted out some information that all of you need to know. First of all, 36 minutes ago, investigators from FBI Denver, National Park Service, U.S. Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, Teton County Search and Rescue, and Jackson Police Department searched for evidence in a remote area of Grand Teton National Park and Bridger Teton National Forest. After that, there was some devastating news. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed the remains are those of Gabrielle Venora Petito, date of birth March 19th, 1999. The Coroner Blue's initial determination for the manner of death is homicide. The cause of death remains pending final autopsy results. The FBI's commitment to justice is at the forefront of each and every investigation, said FBI Denver Special Agent in Charge, Michael Schneider. The FBI and our partners remain dedicated to ensuring anyone responsible for or complicit in Miss Petito's death is held accountable for their actions. Mr. Brian Laundrie has been named a person of interest. Anyone with information concerning Mr. Laundrie's role in this matter or his current whereabouts should contact the FBI. I wonder who you think could be complicit in this. Do you think it could be the dirty Laundries, as John Walsh said? They are sick. I am waiting for the FBI to announce the manhunt for this jerk of a guy who left this beautiful girl dead in the forest. You are pathetic. Pathetic. You and your parents. Both of you. The FBI is seeking information from anyone who utilized the Spread Creek dispersed camping area between the dates of August 27th through the 30th of 2021, who may have had contact with Miss Petito or Mr. Laundrie, or may have seen their vehicle. The Spread Creek dispersed camping area is within the Bridger Teton National Forest on the east boundary of Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The forensic search has concluded of the Spread Creek dispersed camping area, and law enforcement has released the area. So it seems as though they have collected all the evidence that they can, and now it's back open. And I know there's a picture floating around of a cross where Gabby's remains were found. Somebody put it together, made out of stones. It was really, really touching and beautiful. The FBI Denver said photos and details are available on the FBI's Seeking Information poster. Relevant information may be submitted to the FBI at tips.fbi.gov, or you can call 1-800-CALL-FBI or 303-629-7171. Photos and videos may be uploaded to fbi.gov/Petito. FBI Denver thanks the public for their continuing support of this investigation and the valuable tips that have been submitted. We extend sincere condolences to Gabby's family, friends, and all the people whose lives she touched. Now, I want to go over the news release with you guys. Investigators from the FBI Denver Field Office and Wyoming resident agencies, the National Park Service, U.S. Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, Teton County Search and Rescue, and Jackson Police Department participated in a search for evidence in a remote area of the Grand Teton National Park of the Bridgerton-Teton National Forest on Sunday, September 19, 2021. Human remains were located and recovered consistent with the description of Gabrielle, Gabby Petito. The remains were transported to the Teton County Coroner's Office for forensic examination to confirm identity and determine the manner and cause of death. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed the remains are those of Gabriella Venora Petito. The forensic search has concluded, they said, and they just put out a news release that you can copy and read for yourself, and that is at on Twitter at FBI Denver, if any of you would like to go ahead and look at this. So I know we were all expecting this to be a homicide, but when you hear it, it's absolutely heartbreaking. My heart breaks for her parents and her step-parents. I know that her father went and confronted the Laundrie family, and that report is redacted, except to say that there was some kind of physical occurrence between them. And you want to know something? This father feels like he needs to protect his daughter, even though she has passed on. This is the hardest thing he is going through. I have lost a child, and it's that club that you don't want to be a part of. And these people have just been added to that club. And to find out that the person that was supposedly supposed to love your daughter probably is the person that committed her homicide is absolutely devastating. And to think that his parents would not give any information about Gabby, that they moved her stuff into some kind of storage unit, that they let their son leave the premises and go God knows where, while we are spending all these resources looking for this animal. Well, guess what, Laundrie family? John Walsh and this whole world is looking for your son. Investigators are searching. And you know what? None of us are going to stop until we find him. He needs to be held accountable for what he did to Gabby. Because we know this is going to end up on him. He couldn't handle what a special, beautiful girl she was. He couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle that she was strong and smart and caring. She was all of those things. And you were nothing but a jealous, bully, coward. That's what you were. And now we have to find out that she laid out there in the forest where there's a picture floating around where there's gunshots that were in the logs found by her body. So we don't know if she was shot, but we do know that Brian did have a gun because Gabby was in a picture with the gun. I'm trying to locate that. So it was definitely that he had a gun. So we don't know if there was multiple ways that this homicide was committed. We don't know if it was just shooting, but somehow Gabby's death was a homicide. And now they have to dig in to find the exact cause of death. And we probably knew that it was going to come out a homicide, especially yesterday after Sunday night they had found Gabby's remains, that they believed to be Gabby's remains. The next day they go to the dirty Laundrie's home and put out a search warrant on them. And they drag their butts out to the law enforcement's vehicle and set their butts in there while they went and searched that home for hours and took evidence. And if they are complicit in this crime, then they too should be held accountable for what they did. for letting their son stick home for 11 days, not caring where in the world Gabby was, not worrying about how her family was going to feel because their daughter was out there in the middle of a forest all alone, out in the cold night air, out in the heat all day while wildlife went after her. Are you kidding me? These people are absolute monsters who raised a big monster. I am digging into his personality, and I have found stuff that is not good, and I will be doing a video on that. What we all need to do as a community in this case is plaster his face everywhere. You guys have Twitter, you guys have Instagram, you guys have Facebook. Get his face out there. If you have somewhere you could go to put up his picture on a flyer, please do that. This guy should not be out somewhere hiding while beautiful Gabby is in an autopsy room. That's where she is. She's on an autopsy table because this family couldn't do the decent thing and raise their son right. They couldn't be the decent people to call up her parents and say, Brian came home without Gabby. You don't have an ounce of empathy, of sympathy in you, that you didn't care about this girl, that she didn't come home with your son, the girl that was supposed to be your daughter-in-law. You let him run. You let him run. And I'll bet that you know exactly where he went. I bet that you arranged it. And you guys should be held accountable for letting him disappear. Letting him take the coward's way out of how he treated Gabby. Her best friend said how badly he treated Gabby. Even his sister knew that there was problems in this relationship. And when the police were there, they let her down too. They let her down in this situation. They made the wrong call because they let the manipulator manipulate them. He did that. He was smirking in that video. You can see it while Gabby is hysterically crying. And you know what? If he got some scratches on his face, he deserved them because a witness saw him slapping and punching her. Nobody should put their hands on anybody else. That's just the way it should be. And nobody should do that to somebody they love. That is uncalled for. That is abuse. You need to be brought in and questioned. You can have your lawyer. I understand that. I understand the Constitution and that we all have rights. And those rights are there for a reason. But your parents shouldn't have done this. Your parents let you go and they worry about their son. Well, what about Gabby? You didn't worry about Gabby at all? You only called the police when you didn't know where your son was, so you claim. But he could have been gone way longer than you said. Maybe the police thought he was in one place and he never was there. You guys answered the door when law enforcement showed up, and all you could do was give them your lawyer's name and phone number. You didn't have any ounce of decency in you to tell them anything about Gabby. This girl lived in your home for 2 years. 2 years. And you didn't love her? You didn't love her like a daughter? Because I looked at those postcards that she sent her nephews, Brian's nephews, which she considered her nephews. She loved them. She loved everybody. And now she is gone from this world. And you let your son take off without going to law enforcement and answering some questions. Or at least showing up with his lawyer. You two need to be brought down there, and you two need to start answering questions. And I hope the FBI puts him out on a wanted list. Maybe we need more information from the autopsy. But guess what? Brian was the last person with her. And Red, White, and Bethune, I think the channel is called, they captured Gabby's van on their road trip. They were so smart in helping the FBI recover her remains. Those people got answers for the Petito and Schmidt families. Because the worst thing is to not know where your child is. To not know what happened to your child. Nobody should go through that. And to find out that it's possibly that it was the person that was supposed to love your child, it makes it all the more worse. So this family needs all of us to stand behind them. Stand behind them and put the word out about Brian Laundrie. I cannot wait until John Walsh's show tomorrow night. It will be on Discovery ID. I plan on watching it. I know Dr. Phil had done a segment with Gabby Petito's father. And that was, of course, before we found out that she had been deceased in Grand Teton. She never made it anywhere else where she was supposed to go. She didn't make it. She never made it at a Teton. That's all thanks to you, Brian. That's thanks to you. Because you were caught in the van. You were caught. You opened the door, and then you closed it when you knew a vehicle was getting close to you. You left her out in the wilderness to be hunted by scavengers. And now you're hiding God knows where. But guess what? Law enforcement is coming out, and they are going to find you. And you will have to answer for what you did. That's all I have for you today, guys. I hope all of you are well. And prayers go out to Gabby Petito's family. Rest in peace, sweet girl. Fly high, angel.